아이고 재밌다. Well, for those who don't know me, I mean, I'm Herbert. I'm one of Mr. Ralston's world history student, and I'm here right now in the Forbidden Series to introduce the Meridian Gate. Back to the history, Chinese emperors used to believe that this place where we are standing right now was the center of the universe. And the reason why they believe in that is because of Meridian line that was crossing by this place, and that's how they came up with the name of Meridian Gate. And over here, most of stuff used to happen over here, and every year the emperor would come over here and announce lunar calendar. And as you can see over there, there is Meridian Gate, and that gate symbolize really important aspect in history. There was no one else who was allowed to pass through that gate except the emperor. So that means that emperor was the most respected person than everyone else at that time. And another thing is that sadly, that for the people who went against the emperor or the people who didn't follow the order of the emperor were also getting punished in front of this gate. So as we can see, this gate preserves really important historical event in history. And additionally, I would like to say that as a world history student, I'm so glad to come here because I get to expand my knowledge in history, and yeah, it's more. I mean, it's not going to be difficult for me, to forget this, but it will be easier for me to remember because I connect the stuff I'm learning in class with the evidence, those evidence they're all around me. So thank you for listening, everyone.
Nice job.
Yeah. Come on.
So this is the Golden River, also known as the Jet Rainbow River or Jet Belt River, because this is like a belt. This is like the hawk here. The 5 bridges. The 5 bridges symbols the 5 idea of Confucianism. For the huge one in the middle is only for the marriage or the emperor. People cannot walk there. They have to go like this. This will be like the normal person will go the really side one, and with the the social level rise, they can just go the middle one. The river is for the fire hydrant and also for the water in the Forbidden City. I heard they also grow some lentils through here, for not only for eating but for selling to the normal citizens. This river was really important to the Forbidden City, so people are not allowed to use the water here.
Whenever you're ready.
Hello everyone, my name is Diana. I'm from Mr. Ralston's World History class. And right now I am at one of the most famous places in the world, Forbidden City. This place is divided into two, the outer court and the inner court. I am at the outer court, which consists of 3 grand halls located on the terrace. In front of the halls, there's a courtyard and the gate to the outer court. This is the gate of Supreme Harmony, is the main gate of the outer court. The gate is guarded by a couple of bronze lions. One is here and the other one is there, which aim to show imperial dignity. The Forbidden City is the best preserved imperial palace in China, and it is the largest ancient structure in the world. The whole structure includes 19 palaces and courtyards, 980 buildings, and 8,704 rooms. The main function of the outer court was to hold delegations and other visitors. For me, being in the Forbidden City as a world history student means a huge opportunity to learn about Chinese history at an actual historical place.
We're here in the Forbidden City. The lives and roles of eunuchs is my part too. So basically, I'm going to give you a brief explanation of what eunuch is and what they do and where they're from and how they become eunuchs. So the eunuchs we call the guy who got castrated. Okay, you can look up dictionaries. It may sound really weird if you look at this guy's castrated and got lots of powers in the government ruling his class, and they were one of the highest class in Chinese government since Shang Dynasty. It's been really old. And okay, so eunuchs become they're actually from the poor families, and the government attempt to take kids from poor families and try to raise them as eunuchs when they're really little babies. And eunuchs usually form strong bonding with king because they're the ones who get to raise the king. So if the king grows up and the eunuchs get to abuse their political rights because they have so strong bonding and so really good relationship with the kings. So there are some historical facts that a group of eunuchs have abused their political rights, and they also take care of military and taxation also, lots of things they're taken care of. And especially as Larry referred before when we were at Ming Tombs, the Zhang was one of eunuchs. They're really good. And Zhang is actually from Arabia, and according to history, he was really pretty and tall, so he was really one of the popular eunuchs. Don't know why. And also Lin Cai, he's the famous guy who invented the paper. He's also one of the eunuchs, and that's it.
to introduce about power structure of Ming Dynasty. The Ming Dynasty was an empire established by Han people, and they were the majority of our ethnic group. The name of first imperial, the founder of Ming Dynasty, was Zhu Yuanzhang, and people called him Huangdi, which are assumed to be the position of empire. Back then, absolutely, a Huangdi had the political power to rule his empire, which made him divided. At the same time, he couldn't simply do everything he wanted to do. Right under Huangdi, there was also one of the highest class called Zhengshang and Zhangjun, and Zhengshang was responsible for supporting Huangdi in the process of making decisions. On the other hand, Zhangjun was responsible for army. So when Ming Dynasty having war between other countries, then Zhangjun leading the military to having war. And under those three, most of the positions were available for people to pass the national exam to get a job in the office. At that time, the power structure of Ming Dynasty was imperial central structure, and his order was absolute. As a world history class student, I'm happy to be here because I could understand more about Chinese culture and history.
This is the building called the Hall of Supreme Harmony, which is the most important and largest structure in the Forbidden City. And it is located in the outer court, as Diana said before. In the Ming Dynasty, actually it was called as the Hall of Veneration of Heaven, and the name now is using the Hall of Supreme Harmony as a name that Qing Dynasty gave it. It is directly connected to the Gate of Supreme Harmony by the Imperial Road, and the building is on the 8-meter marble terrace, which is we're standing on now. It was first built in 1420, but it was rebuilt 7 times after it. The Hall of Supreme Harmony was used for ceremonial purposes in the Ming Dynasty, just such as Emperor's birthday, nomination of military leaders and coronations, and when empresses were enthroned. Inside the building there is a dragon throne called Long Yi on the platform of 7 steps. And when Emperor sat on his throne, he was surrounded by the images of dragons in there, and he himself was also considered as one real heavenly dragon. The Hall of Supreme Harmony has highly decorated 72 columns that supports the whole building, and it itself is decorated a lot too. And as a world history class student, to be here, it means experiencing the living history which I was learning in the classroom. So it's really good.
Hello guys, my name is Lincoln, and I'm in front of the Palace of Heaven created with my world history teacher and classmates. I heard that it is most important building in the inner court of Forbidden City, so listen carefully. The name of this building is Qian Qing Gong. The English name is the Palace of Heavenly Creative. The Qian means heaven and clean. Qing means also clean. It built at 1420 and was burned down several times. It is the largest building of the 3 layer palace in Forbidden City. It was the palace where the emperor slept during the reigns of Emperor Shenji and Kangxi. The building functioned as an audience chamber for foreign envoys and high-ranking governors. And also on such important days, Emperor would be present here to receive the congratulations from his officials and provide great feast in return. In front of the palace of this heavenly party, there is small miniature pavilion on each side. One is Xinjiang and one is Xiaji something. It means territorial integrity and bumper harvest. In the main hall, in throne room, there hangs a plaque with the inscription written by first Qing Emperor Shenzhi, which reads, "Be fair and open." It was handwritten by the Emperor Shenzhi. Thank you. And it is so meaningful for me because it is first time to get out of school and study something with classmates.
Hello everyone. I'm here in front of the Palace of Earthly Tranquility. It's called Kun Ning Gong in Chinese. Okay. This place was differently used in different time period. For example, during Ming Dynasty, this place was used. This place was for the Empress. Yeah, Empress, who's the wife of Emperor. Empress stayed here and she spent her whole lifetime here. And another example, during Qing Dynasty, both Emperor and Empress got married here. They were having ceremony here, and what else? Yeah, they also worshipped device, which is God of their empire. For them, for those people, religion was a really big deal because they thought everything is happening because of the God. If you sacrifice and offer sacrifices to God, many times, then you're living a happy life. But if you're not, I'm sorry. So if you go inside, or if you look inside, because you can't go in, if you look inside, there are 4 rooms on the east side and 2 rooms on the west side. So those 4 rooms were used to, have marriage and spend night, and this west was to offer sacrifices to God. So this place is really amazing for me as a world history student, and I think I will never forget this place. Thank you.
Hello everyone. I'm going to introduce the Imperial Garden. Imperial Garden. Chinese name is Wihua Yuan, and this is located at Lulsan outside the inner court through the gate of earthly tranquility to the north. The Imperial Garden is the oldest in the Forbidden City, and it covers a total area of 12,000 square meters. It was basically a place of amusement for emperors. The Emperor Qianlong wrote of his garden that every ruler, when he has returned from audience and he has finished his public duties, must have a garden in which he may stroll, look around, and relax his heart. And Chinese gardens are an extension of architectural planning and design. Pavilions and halls are distributed orderly, interspersed with trees, cypresses, and bamboos, as well as hills and rocks. And ancient cypresses not only decorate gardens, but also have implied meanings. Baizhi, which means cypress branches, has a similar pronunciation as Baizi, which means hundreds of children, implying emperors pray for multiplied descendants. And there are dozens of Lianli cypresses are growing in the imperial garden. Lianli means two trees are interlocking, and the name indicates people's wish of being inseparable king birds and in sky and Lianli branches on land. And for me, as a world history student, Forbidden City is a really good place to learn and experience the history of Ming Dynasty. Thank you.
Okay, so today I'll talk about this beautiful building today. It'll be very short than the others because there's not that much information. So this building in English is called the Pavilion of Imperial Sincerity. It's located in the Imperial Garden, almost at the end, and in Chinese it's called Beijing. And this building is about like 10 meters high, and it is a man-made rocker to give Empire exercise and to endear him to release misfortune. Emperors will climb up this building to the pavilion on the double 9th festival to enjoy the scenery with the royal family. The pavilion site on the top of the artificial hill called Gathering Beauty Hill. In Chinese it's called Dui Shu Shan. And these rocks are brought from Guahadian region. And for me, Forbidden City, it's very it's an honor to be here because it's a live history book. And that's all.
Behind me, we can see the walls of the Forbidden City. Not a lot of people think about them, but it's one of the most important things because without these walls, Forbidden City wouldn't be the same as it is now. The walls are about 10 meters high and around 8 meters in width, and they are 3,500 meters long around the Forbidden City. On each corner of the Forbidden City there's one turret, so in total there's 4 turrets, and basically they were there to protect the Forbidden City from any intruders who tried to come in. At each end of the Forbidden City there's gates, and on top of each roof, which you can see right there, is a kind of dragon which is called Shanghong, and he's there to cause wind and rain to protect any building from fire because they're really scared of fire. And I'm sure that you noticed the yellow color. The yellow color is an imperial color that only the emperor could wear. No one else could. I'm very honored to be here because it's the first time we ever go out of our classroom to learn about something, and it's fun, so yeah. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Richard and I'm at the Forbidden City. My name is, I'm going to tell about the day-to-day life of the emperor, but actually I saw that almost the 16 emperors had similar activities like hunting, watching plays, or watching other ceremonies. Almost at the Forbidden City, there is a place called Zhonghedian where the king rested and saw many ceremonies. After that, there is a place called Baohedian where the kings changed their clothes and went to the ceremonies or go hunting. There is a special famous emperor called Zhu who loved to enjoy luminous living, which is enjoying with women, and almost he had lots of wives. And first he did sleeping with his lowest level life, and the second one higher, and then go on. And when the full moon is up, he slept with his queen. But also there's another king called Hongwu who worked very hard to improve the peasants' life, creating laws for the peasants. Yeah. But usually most of the emperors enjoyed hunting and watching plays, going around, drinking party. For a world history class, I think this is a very pleasure to be in the Forbidden City. It's very big and huge, and I think it's very fun.
Hello, I'm Catherine. I'll introduce about concubines. Concubine means the not first wife. Emperor who controlled Ming Dynasty also had concubines. Each emperor had more than 10 concubines, and they have some rules to be a concubine. First, they cannot go out the Forbidden City, and also they cannot marry with others. Second, if their husband was died, they were buried in his temple. Also, Ming Emperor could get concubines unlimited, and as a result, Chu Huangdi had most concubines in Ming Dynasty. He had much more than 10 concubines. And from first concubines, they could not live as rich as first, second, and third concubines. However, some countries gave girls to Ming Dynasty for good relationship with Ming. And for me, this filter makes me more easier to understand the war history. That's all.
Now we are on the top of Spirit Building, and today I'm going to talk about Ming Tombs. There are 14 Ming Tombs in China, and Ming Tomb is resting place for 13 Ming emperors. This tomb for them, and Ming emperors breathed in the tomb. For here, we visit today. Yongle Emperor is buried in here, and Yongle Emperor's tomb was built in 1424, and it's known for the first Ming Tomb in China, and it is famous for its restored condition. And interesting facts are young was 16 concubines are bred with him together, and it used feng shui alignment to build these 4 Ming Tombs. And by visiting Ming Tombs, for me, it will help to expand our historical perspective and know better about Chinese culture. That's it.
I'm gonna talk about Ming Tombs very briefly. In this place, there are 3 royal tombs, and then when we go around here, we can see a lot of mountains. Among there have tombs for lawyers, and then there was 16 kings in the Ming Dynasty, but only 13 kings could be buried in there. The reason was one king was kicked out from the king, and then the other was one king changed the capital city of China, and then he buried it there. And then the other one, there's no there's no paper for that. And then at that time, Ming Dynasty population was 100 million people, and then Ming Dynasty expanded the length of Great Wall. And then at the same time, at the same period, which is 15th century, at that time European was having revolution for religious, like refute indulgence, which is Martin Luther's. And then in Korea, one king made Shingijan, which is the first missile in the world. As a world resident, I'm very happy to hear, because I never been here first, and then I think this is very nice experience as a student.
Now, we're in front of Zheng He's picture, who was a very famous admirer and diplomat of Ming Dynasty, who lived between 1371 to 1435. He is known for 7 expeditions for 16 years, with at least 63 huge ships, 200 smaller ships, and 28,000 sailors. The largest ship was said to be 127 meter long, 56 meter wide, and used 9 masts. Many historians said that his ship was at least 20 times larger than those of Columbus's, which only used 3 masts. Then who was Zheng He, and why did he have 7 expeditions for 16 years? Zheng He first was a eunuch and recognized by Yongle after helping him to becoming emperor. However, Yongle thought that his cousin that he fought against was still alive overseas. Therefore, Yongle ordered Zheng He to find him out. It was the first purpose of an expedition. However, realistically, the goal of expeditions was to promote trade and collect tribute from lesser powers across the western seas. Zheng He and his soldiers even reached Kenya in Africa as the furthest, over Southeast and Southwest Asia, and promoted the national glory around the world. And it was 80 to 90 years earlier than Columbus in 1492 and Vasco da Gama in 1497, sailing the Indian Ocean. During 7 times of expeditions, he brought silk and chinaware to the foreign countries and brought back lots of jewelries and exotic animals, such as giraffe. Moreover, it showed local rulers the power and strength of the Chinese Empire. However, these expeditions and trade with foreign countries stopped after Zheng He's death during the last expedition in 1323. And because of civil servants' strong check toward the units, Zheng He's armada was removed and there was no more pioneering in the ocean. Lastly, to be in the Ming Tombs as a world history student, it means like I become a living witness of Ming Dynasty. I'm really happy to be here. Thank you.